Hello? 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 Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where am I hearing you from? Can you hear me? I can hear you very well. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where am I hearing you from? Can you hear me? I can hear you very well. Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Where am I hearing you from? Can you? Just okay.
Now, time for cultural appropriation. The beach life goes. It's just a
Hmm. That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
is not your fault. Okay? You also cannot predict essay and grade. But before you get to that stage, what is your fail safe as a woman? Let me break down what a fail safe is as a woman, because we all do it. Yeah, it's a checklist to go through, or a risk assessment to go through. How am I keeping myself safe at these particular events? Meaning, if you go out with your friends, are you leaving with your friends? If you get in a cab, have you text someone or text a brother or sister?
What do you want me to say?
His license plate is this.
Bring up.
Have you shared your location with someone? Have you checked in to make sure that all your friends have got in and they are safe on a night out? That is what your fail safe is. And there were some women in my life that were like, oh, we do all of this and we still get essayed and grape. I said, yeah, but there's also fail safes which you can do, which you can lower the risk. Because some women were in the live and saying, oh no, it doesn't matter about a fail safe. Men are still doing what they're doing. No, it does matter. Because how is it a good idea to go back with a man that you've met for 2 hours? Yeah? 2 hours in a club, and you get in the car with him, drunk. Both of you are drunk. Yeah? How is that a good idea? Are you making good decisions? That is the question about fail-safe. Never mind you're getting to the hotel. Is it a good decision for you to get in the car with a guy who's drunk, doing 110 miles down a 50-mile motorway or dual carriageway? I'm chatting to you hard like this because I want people to hear me. We need to address groupie culture and hookup culture because it is a thing. And how can you protect yourself as a man and woman? It's on both of you. It's not just on the man. And this is what I've been seeing. There's this trend. Oh, men need to take responsibility. Men need to do this. Men need to do that. No, because it goes back to this. Why is it on a predator to keep you safe? Come on, man. I'm trying to keep young girls safe. Why is it that all of the responsibility to keep you safe is on a predator? Answer my question. And when I posed that to the panel, they were like, no, Elaine, you're absolutely right. There are fail-safes, there are preventative measures that we can do.
Need to start taking accountability for their actions because they haven't before. They're doing this alone. Nice folks. Why should
For his number, or he'll ask you for your number, or be like, you know
in
what?
majority of cases, I say majority because there are a few or some cases where men like I don't understand rape extensively, but
They make a beeline for the VIP, and they're standing up there
it's like,
hoping that
I'm
they
sorry.
see it. Because groupies
Okay.
it. You understand? And as I said before, for the people who are hard of hearing, it is not a girl's fault if she gets essayed or raped because you cannot predict it. But you can always make sure that you go through your fail-safe to keep yourself safe. And some of you don't even know what that is. Come on, man. You're talking about,
now time for cultural appropriation.
Do that. And it goes back to
this. Dancing to Spice is my
Son,
girl. That's the homie.
If you're,
You know what I'm saying?
step
She's
up
king
your
of dance hall.
every day.
She's gorgeous white girls. Just doing
To
that
keep
black
safe.
girl.
If you are crossing
Not
a
a
car,
lot of
yeah,
shaking.
you're gonna
It's
judge.
like a big no Ossetol festival.
Should I
You'll
put
be the same ones that
when you're
want to
driving
be
the car,
black women
should
and
I
then
put
shit
down?
on black women all day long. No, that is not yours. And then they have the nerve to try to
Slow down.
reinvent it with what
You do risk assessments every day. So why the hell do you think it's not right to do a risk assessment when you go to events with men? And you sit there and you expect the predator to keep you safe. It's delusional, it's unfair, and it's up to you to make sure that you have fail safes. Yes, men have predatory behavior. You understand? And all I pose the question is, what are we doing? What is our fail-safe to lower the risk of something like that happening to you? But everyone wanted to absolve women from completely not taking responsibility for your safety. And I can't get down with that. It don't sit right with me. You understand? So call me whatever you want. I really don't give a shit. But what I'm not going to stand for is women. But what I'm not going to stand for is women going, I'm 19 and I'm 20 and I'm just making mistakes and it's fine and men should do this. And no, absolutely not. Because you wouldn't advise your sister, your niece, whoever it is, someone younger than you, it's okay to go off with a man at 2 a.m. in the morning to a hotel. It's fine. You would never advise them that. So why do you think it's okay for you to do that if you wouldn't give your niece or whatever the same advice? Stop it. It's delusional. You absolutely have a responsibility to keep yourself safe. And I'm not budging on that. And this is why I can't sit down and chat with you delusional women. We can't put all men on an island and think that it's okay. We can't do that. But what we can do is we can go for our fail-safes and lower the risk of getting essayed and raped. And as I said before, we can't predict it. But we can absolutely go for our fail-safes and think, have I made the decision to keep myself safe? And I will always advocate for that. We both have a responsibility, not just men, women too. You both have a responsibility to keep both of you safe. Me done talk. Take out your notepads and pens because class is in session. Why is it on a predator to keep us safe? Even before you get to the essay or the grape, how is it that you women expect a predator to keep you safe? And let me say this, yeah, for the hard of hearing people. Consent is consent. No means no. And essay and grape is not your fault. Okay? You also cannot predict and grape. But before you get to that stage, what is your fail safe as a woman? Let me break down what a fail safe is as a woman, because we all do it. Yeah, it's a checklist to go through or a risk assessment to go through. How am I keeping myself safe at these particular events? Meaning, if you go out with your friends, are you leaving with your friends? If you get in a cab, have you text someone or text a brother or sister or something? Oh, I'm getting in this cab. His license plate is this. Have you shared your location with someone? Have you checked in to make sure that all your friends have got in and they are safe on a night out? That is what your fail safe is. And there were some women in my life that were like, oh, we do all of this and we still get essayed and grape. I said, yeah, but there's also fail safes which you can do, which you can lower the risk. Because some women were in the live and saying, oh no, it doesn't matter about a fail safe. Men are still doing what they're doing. No, it does matter. Because how is it a good idea to go back with a man that you've met for 2 hours? Yeah? 2 hours in a club and you get in the car with him, drunk. Both of you are drunk. Yeah? How is that a good idea? Are you making good decisions? That is the question about fail-safe.
Now, time for cultural appropriation. These white girls. It's just a group of white girls dancing to Spice. Spice is my girl. That's the homie. You know what I'm saying? She king of
If a woman isn't allowing you to see your child,
dance hall. She's a bunch of white.
Your goal is to hit 10K on IG. Okay, get inside. Go, go inside.
Don't know.
Come on inside.
Yeah. Listen. Mm. Okay, I've decided to still go ahead with this meeting that unfortunately I don't have one person that has come into the room. But to be fair, I did put in the information just a little bit later than I would have expected. It's just, yeah, I've just had a number of things happening, but I did put that I was doing this for some time back now. But anyway, um, this could be watched at some other point. You might want some information. I've done a video on this that you can see on Instagram. Some may have got the video directly to their WhatsApp groups. I'm in quite a number of them, and it might actually be sent over and shared from the WhatsApp groups. But if you see the video, I do put in Godfrey, the comedian Elaine, the pain she calls herself. She's just out there, just a mouth. She's got a big mouth, okay? But her mouth is saying a lot that we need to hear. So Elaine, you just carry on there. You have another lady I never met before, and also another lady as well that's just saying, yeah, we need to just take back what's ours, and they need to give it back. That these Europeans, those that stole from us, need to give it back. And that sounds like reparations, doesn't it? But cultural appropriation, that would be uh, just people just taking our stuff and making money out of it, and not benefiting the originators of where they're kidnapping, hijacking, stealing, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, they are taking things that's not theirs, and they are not saying that they are or they have done that. They're not appreciating it. Um, yeah, so um, I would imagine if anybody felt that their goods were taken away from them, or their ideas, that's why you've got intellectual property and you've got patency. You should patent your ideas. You can send a letter back to yourself. You can send an email back to yourself showing the data when you came up with that idea. And obviously, you could take it a lot more further. If you were to create a website, create domains and all that stuff, proving that this is your idea, it's your invention, your innovation. You could go to court, I suppose, and take it further, and you might have to, pay and more on that. But I think that's more like if you had to prove that this was yours. And I think if it's just company house, just company limited business and all that stuff, that then makes it your trade. So I think you can get a trademark, stuff like that. So it's been a while I've spoken about this, so you can get information on this. So yeah, I believe my daughters are on here. And hey, guys, if you want to say something, just say something. Yeah. I'm just making this video so that this could be seen later on. So with cultural appropriation, um, what we're finding that actually, let's even take it a bit further than that. Yeah, and in terms of the inventions, this is going back into history. Yeah, we don't even have to say too much about it. Many of the inventions are made not in Europe, but in Africa and Asia. Yeah, and then I'll say the Americas. I'll say Africa first. Um, Asia, they call it the Middle East, but it is Asia. And you'll find that a lot of inventions come from there. And then a lot of the people that have made these inventions are darker skinned people. And they are also people that you might call Chinese, Japanese, Malaysians, Australian, whatever. Yeah, they're also dark skinned people. Okay, so if we're just talking about historic or prehistoric inventions, they are people of color. Yeah. Can I give some examples? I think what comes to me is Kemet. I think, yeah, Egypt for one, Mesopotamia. some things that they did in Arabia, is it technology, calculations, the flight, aviation, so Arabs, universities, Timbuktu, 17 of universities in Timbuktu in Africa, it's Mali. America has got a lot of beautiful um, artifacts and ruins and stuff like that. You can see that they made underground um, buildings and houses and all, and this is in water. So just already, yeah, well, if we're talking about when did white people start making it, that's if they even created or make anything. I mean, when did white people even come about to say that, oh, we are part of the whole creation of stuff? Well, they're only like maybe was it 6,000 years old or something like that? Maybe just as old as the Judaism clock, like their time of when things started. We're talking religion. We're talking 4004 BC, where they say that's when Adam and Eve was made, when they came about, according to John Fisher's, what do you call it? What would you call that? His timeline of events, of which you'll see calendars were even made just before the making of Adam and Eve. The oldest bone is Lucy. They call it Lucy. So, um, down to calendars, that was definitely African made. So you've got the Sophic calendar. So we're talking a lot of inventions made already by Africans. Yeah, and then they then obviously went and migrated to other lands. Some got trapped in the Caucasus Mountain area. The story gets a bit dodgy there. You get Neanderthals and aliens coming down to the ground, or the Bible might say angels. So Genesis is chapter 6. The son of God meant the sons of God met with the sons of men and whatever. So you have that. You have like because if you want to talk about this, you got to go way back into time. You have to go way back into where um they talk about who created or who made or who did certain things. So that's like calendars is really good to talk about. You how did these calendars come about? It wasn't in Europe. Let's just get that straight. Yeah, that would be Africa and Asia, and that would be our people going out, and with our talents and skills and expertise in doing it. Yeah, things start to get a lot more lighter. Yeah, well, I say a lot more like well, it began to get lighter between. I don't know. I can't even give you that wholesome answer. But the whole Caucasus Mountain thing. If you can find out when it actually happened, then you can kind of get a better idea. I know some people would even want to challenge me with some things that I've said, but white people haven't really been around for that long. Trust me, they haven't been around that long at all. Um, so you need to talk about that period of time first before you now start talking about things now. Okay. All right. So if we now talk about modern history, I would really start it from when the game changer happened, because it seemed as though technology just excelled, it accelerated after then. Yeah, the Industrial Revolution. Natural fact, I mean, yeah, the Industrial Revolution started in Ireland, and that started with fashion and textiles. So I think why people had something. I mean, even with that, I have to go and ask. I've got to read up on some more on that. How did white people even think of the whole thing of the engine, or the textiles that then inspired the engine to be made? And so has been said that the Industrial Revolution began in Ireland, began in Britain, and it then spread across the world. And the gunpowder was in China. So. There's some things that might need a bit more research of how things just excelled, but for sure that Africans was behind it, because white people didn't really. There's a little stuff that they did, a kind of lot of mining here and there, but predominantly we're talking about labor. It's our people. Yeah, it's Africans that did it. Yeah, they were the free labor. So what you find is that if your master keeps on coming at you for things to be efficient and things to be done quickly, then the talent that the melanin people have, they will always will be making inventions. So that's why they'll say like, oh, the black man. If it says, let's say we're black for now, yeah, we could say the melanin man, or the hue. They'll say, oh, the traffic light, the light bulb, as in the is it filament. If it's the fridge or the AC or computer or um, yeah, it's not all coming to me, even down to the wrench. Yeah, there's many things that we made, right? So if we all and this is like the beginning of technology, even because we can say that some things that are made right now, you can say, yeah, well, it was a Jewish, yeah, he did that, or the white man, he did that, whatever. But where did they get that ground knowledge from? It would be from the originators. Okay, so um, it then starts to get more like petty as the hairstyle, like dreads or braids. Yeah, it's okay now when white people wear braids and dreads. It's fine. Oh, um, J-Lo, who's not even white, she's got small waist and round hips, but oh, it's okay now for black people to, have big butts and small waists and big hips or whatever, whatever. Yeah, right. So they will just take our ideas, take our identity, take our look, whatever, and say it's theirs. Yeah. So it's quite interesting on how um history or our story not only just dominates, but it attracts people to want to take ownership of something that's not even theirs to even take ownership of. It's kind of strange, isn't it? It's really weird, but it's how it goes. And I think this is information that people just ought to just accept. Just accept it. This is what happened. Just accept this is what happened because after the more you get used to accepting this, you can then deal with it. You don't take it too personally. That's the thing about knowledge. Learn, read, understand. Why did it come to this? Why did it come to that? You know, and then if anything, if there's any injustices now, yeah, go and fix it. Because some things are like, how come that's going on? Like, why is that happening? Listen, I was listening to Elaine Payne just now. Her latest video I saw was about women need to take accountability for getting drunk and getting with strangers, getting with men and going sharing the cab with them and all sorts of stuff, and then blaming the man if he, as the predator, does whatever. She's saying no, women need to, take ownership of their actions. You just can't be pointing fingers at men. Like, what are you doing? And my question on the feed was, when did it even come to that anyway? Like, when did it all go all pear-shaped? You know, when was it a thing where men are to blame for everything? Like, literally, that's what's happening. A woman could go and trip over as a man's fault because he wasn't there helping her as she was tripping over, so it's his fault. What? Yeah, yeah, I mean, it might be a silly example, but that's the stuff that was going on. And Lane's calling out saying, no, sorry, but you can't just be blaming men for everything, you know? Uh, Natural fact, who gives access to sex? It's not men. Yeah. Yes, grape, I'll say grape. Grape happens. Okay. I don't understand it. Yeah. It's not all of us men doing it, by the way. It's only a few, right? Many of us men don't do that. I will tell you this now, right? They don't do it. Okay. I can only maybe talk for my men. Yeah. I'm not saying that all our men are that way either. I'm just saying there's a culture that our men don't do that because we're raised by very good women. I'll say that because if men are behaving that way, yeah, it's a mother's fault. Sorry, it's a sister's fault. Yep, yeah, maybe it's your feminist lives that you're living in. You don't want a man around, and you just allow him to do what he wants, and he goes in prison and he turns into a monster. I know I'm not going to go into stats, right? So, you're not going to blame us men for male behavior now because we wanted to be fathers and we weren't able to be. Okay. So that's a trend that needs to change. Right. So you need to be accountable for that as well. Elaine's talking it straight. Sorry, but we can't just blame it all on men. You're literally living this lifestyle where, hey, I can do anything I want. Yeah, I can be me. Blah, 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 blah. Right. And then stuff happened to you and they say he raped me. So he raped me. It's like, excuse me? You put yourself in that position. Yeah. Man is not going to have access, to you unless you put yourself there. I don't care. You can blame that you're drunk. You got drunk and you put yourself in that position. You did that. Okay, this is a conversation I can easily have. I have two daughters that, they're over 20. So, and my daughters now, we speak about certain things. There's some things I don't even really even need to even talk about because they just know. They even cuss it off themselves that why people behaving like this. My daughters are workers. You know what I mean? And they're hard workers too. So they just know the coup. They just know. So I don't have to have certain conversations with them. They just know. But yeah, I have no problem putting stuff together so that some women that don't know, because unfortunately they weren't able to have a father around, or a father wasn't around. I'm not going to totally wholesomely blame it on women. Some fathers just wasn't around. And you know what? They're boys. Yeah, they're men. They're just, you know, they're just seed carriers. And you allowed them to come in you and fertilize the egg. Yeah, you did. You did that. What else can I add to that? The video, I think, is good. I mean, the videos go a lot longer than that. So if you can find the videos and look at it, you had the Sankofa lady who's no longer around doing the Sankofa that she doing she used to do in August or early September. I won't go into that because that's another story in itself. But the maid decided to make it into um a Caribbean time. I'm not too sure. Straight after Carnival, he's made it like a Caribbean African event, African Caribbean event. I don't know. Yeah, but it's not bad though. But you have to look at how that began, what the loins of the beginning of that movement. Yeah, it's only been going on for what, 2 3 years. Yeah, I didn't go last year, but I went the year before because I was around. Yeah. And yeah, Godfrey spoke, Elaine spoke, yeah. And the lady said, I ended it with the lady saying that we've got to take back ourselves. Let me get this straight, because reparations is something that I don't mind talking about. I say I don't mind talking about because I don't think it's something that actually solves our problem to get reparations. I think actually it just delays us, it slows us down, it makes us lose track. Yeah, we're not able to, well, let's say we're just depending on something to make us better, and it's not. If we got to either take some responsibility of even being in that position in the first place of slave trafficking, yeah, we have got to take some responsibility, right? So some of us are just movers and shakers, yeah, and they're gonna put ideas on the table, and some of you are gonna have it, and some of you aren't, and maybe many won't, and people just stay in the same place. That's it. Am I happy with what's happening in society when it comes to people? No, but can we do better for ourselves? Yeah. And people think that reparations is one of those ideas. Okay, well, if you can prove your case of how that is to be, then I'll listen. Yeah. Um, okay, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it there. You know, I'm gonna end it there. Okay. I think, as I said, you can see the video, have a look at the video. It's only 4 minutes and a half of cultural appropriation, and we can maybe come back to this another day. Yeah, and maybe I could maybe advertise this a little bit earlier in terms of sending out the details. Maybe Sunday is not a good day either, right? Because um, it's just not a good day for many people. So you live and you learn, right? So thank you. Um, yeah, you can leave comments in the feed. And if you have any subjects that you'd like to speak about, this is Caribbean Britain. It's called Caribbean Britain. Yeah, behind this, my Notting Hill Carnival 60th project and campaign I'm doing. Yeah, but if you have anything to share with Caribbean experiences, and you don't have to necessarily be Caribbean to give ideas, we could talk about it as long as this is Caribbean based. You are taken to the Caribbean culture. You want to maybe learn more about the culture, or you have experience with the culture. You want to share, and you want to talk about some things. I don't think that's an issue. That's not a problem. You should be able to do that. Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm gonna end this. Thank you. All right. So hopefully next time I'll send out the information just a little bit earlier and get people on board. All right. Take care.